Hi, welcome to my video on piecewise defined functions, and this one's on graphing, and this video is graphing number 1. So again, we will graph each of these, and we have f of x equals 2x plus 1 when x is greater than or equal to negative 1, and we have equals to negative 3 when x is less than or equal to negative 1. So remember, this is the y, so x and y, or we could have this as a y, or we could also call it the f of x. So the first part we have is, I'm going to look at y equals 2x plus 1. And we're going to look at the interval x is greater than or equal to negative 1. So let's do a little table of values and call that x and call that y. So x is greater than or equal to negative 1. So let's do a negative 1 and greater than 0 and 1. Let's do so many. Put a negative 1 in here. 2 times negative 1 is negative 2. Plus 1 is negative 1. Put a 0 in. 2 times 0 is 0. Plus 1 is 1. Put a 1 in. 2 times 1 is 2. Plus 1 is 3. So notice this is a line, but we're starting this line at x is negative 1. So we plot, started at negative 1 we're allowed, so x is negative 1, which is right here, y is negative 1. So this point is included because it says equal to. 0 gives me a 1, 0 gives me a 1, right there. And 1 gives me a 3. 1 gives me a 3. So there it is. We're starting here, and it's a line. So it's a line that's doing this. And this starting point is solid. This is included. Another way to look at this also to see if you're right. This is y equals mx plus b, and b, the y-intercept is 1. And the slope is 2 over 1 going up 2 right 1. So you start at 1, which is here, and you go up 2 right 1. Looks like this is okay, but this is only part of this line. So just to make sure we are okay, because the y-intercept is 1, up 2 right 1, everything looks good, but we're starting at negative 1. And we have this one right here, and this one is y is equal to negative 3. And that's when x is less than negative 1. So let's do a table of values and see what we have, x and y. X, if we start at negative 1, when x is negative 1, y is negative 3. When x is less than negative 1, that's negative 2. Negative 2 on this horizontal line is a negative 3. We start with negative 3, y is negative 3. So all the values of y are the same. Y is negative 3 no matter what the value of x is when you go to the left of negative 1. So negative 1, negative 3 is x is negative 1. We get a negative 3 right here. But this is not equal to. So this point is not included because x negative 1 is not included. So this is a hollow dot. And we have negative 2. Gives me negative 3. Negative 3 gives me a negative 3. So this is a horizontal line going to the left right here. There it is. Again, y equals negative 3 is a horizontal line. All the values of y in on this line are negative 3, so horizontal. So that's the graph that represents it. I did an individual chart to show you individual tables. And here we have 3 parts, and so let's look at, again, the f of x is a y, so y, or we could have the f of x. So we have 3 pieces, so let's do y equals negative x minus 2 squared when x is greater than 0. Now we can do a table of values again. Here we go. X and y. So x is greater than 0. So let's look at 0. Put a 0 in here, we get negative 2. Negative 2 squared is 4. The negative of 4 is negative 4. Greater than 0, let's take a 1. Put a 1 in here, and we get negative 1. Negative 1 squared is 1. Negative of 1 is negative 1. And we put 2 and then a 3. Let's try just a few of these. 2. 2 minus 2 is 0. 0 squared is 0. Negative of 0 is 0. And we put a 3 in. 3 subtract 2 is 1. 1 squared is 1. The negative of 1 is negative 1. So let's graph this. And again, notice that this is a parabola. The square here, this is the parabola that's moved. It goes downward because of the negative, and it's moved 2 to the right. So this parabola starts at 2. The vertex is when x is 2, y is 0. But let's graph this to see if we're going to get this parabola. Parabola, this is going down, so this parabola would be doing this with a vertex here. So the vertex would have been, if we look at it, the vertex would have been 2, 0. So that's just to keep that in mind. But because 0 gives us negative 4. So 0 gives us negative 4. That's right there. This point is not included. It's a hollow dot. We got 1 giving us a negative 1. That's okay. We got 2 giving us a 0. There it is. And we got 3 giving us a negative 1. 3 gives us negative 1. And this goes on and on. So we do a 4. So it starts here. There's the vertex. So there's the shape. And it goes down out here. And it keeps going to the right because we're allowed to go greater. So it goes down, down, down. So it's a parabola. There's the vertex. And I said this was a parabola. Vertex is 2, 0 right here. And it's going down. But we can only start at when x is 0. Let's look at the next one. Y is equal to x when we go over the interval of negative 2 less than x less than 0. Let's do a table of values for x and y. So we're starting at negative 2. Negative 2, put x is negative 2, y is negative 2, because x equals y. When x is negative 1, which is in between here, so we got negative 1, we got a 0. So we're negative 2, negative 1 is 0. So we take a negative 1. If x is negative 1, y is negative 1. If x is 0, y is 0. And that's all we can graph. We can graph more values of x between negative 2 and 0, but these will suffice. So notice that this point is no equal sign for the negative 2. So negative 2 gives me a negative 2. So negative 2 is negative 2. So here it is. That's a hollow dot. Negative 1 gives me negative 1 right here. It's solid. And 0 gives me 0. 0 is not included, so the point 0, 0 is not included. So, what I did, I put it down at negative 3. Sorry about that. It's right here. This is negative 2, not this point here. So 0, 0, so this point is not included. This point is not included. So there it is. Notice y equals x as a line. Y equals x plus 0. The y-intercept is 0, slope is up 1, right 1. So there's the y-intercept is 0, up 1, right 1. But we can't go this way. So we got to go down 1, left 1. So there's the line. Part of it is like a line segment between these 2 points, which are hollow. And we have y equals the absolute value of x, and the interval is x is less than or equal to negative 2. And we start at negative 2. Remember, an absolute value is a v-shape. So x is starting at negative 2. Let's see what we have here. X is negative 2, and we're going less than, so it's negative 3, negative 4, negative 5, etc. So let's put x is negative 2. Negative 2 in here, the absolute value of negative 2 is 2. And negative 3, absolute value of negative 3 is a 3. Absolute value of negative 4 is 4. absolute value of negative 5 is 5. So this is a part of this absolute value. And we have negative 2 is included. So negative 2 give me a 2. Negative 2 give me a 2. This point is included. Negative 3 give me a negative 3 is, here it is. Negative 4 give me a negative 3 gives me a 3. Perfect. Negative 4 gives me a 4. Right there. Negative 5, which is right here, gives me a 5. So this goes on and on and on. So this starts here. This is a solid dot. It's included, and it's going like this. It's a part of the absolute value. There it is, and this point is solid. And I want to use a little bit of whitener. Always good. Helps me out when I make mistakes. And just to make it not confusing, this point is not there. Just watch. Gone. In a sense. So that's a mistake I made. I plotted the point wrong. So I plotted the point instead of negative 2, I put it here. So there's the graph that represents this function. And again, there's a piecewise function made up of different parts. But look at it. That's an absolute value with the V shape. That's a parabola with vertex. This is a linear. So look at the pieces of the parabola. Look at the pieces, the parabola, vertex. These are concepts that we did earlier in the videos in my units of teaching the math in Algebra 1, Algebra 2, Calculus, and Trig. And if you like my video, click the like button, click the subscribe button, visit my math website, www.mathfullyexplained.com, to find more information about me, my videos, and the content. That's the content on my YouTube channel called Math Fully Explained, just one word. Thank you for viewing my video. Hope the video helped you. Bye-bye.